Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good Wednesday. I don't know, wherever you are in the world, do let us know. Thank you for joining us once again here at vidIQ, where we are creator obsessed about your YouTube education journey and progress. My name is Rob, and for the next hour or so, we're going to have some fun conversations about a little milestone that we may have just hit here very recently. But I could not do any of this conversing with the community here without my trusty compadre. Dan, I've decided to call you a compadre today. Is that all right? Welcome.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool.
Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Shout us out. Shout yourself out. I'm just going to throw some names on screen, such as Sheeps for Jesus and Liberty Wing UK and MC.Ivan. Funny story here, Dan. MC or McIvan is our first community shout out on the community tab, because there is a new tool now in the YouTube studio which shows you your most loyal commenters. And McIvan has posted at least 100 comments on the channel. So I wanted to do a shout out on the community tab. So yeah, he loved it. He said thank you. And I think other people appreciated the shout out. We'll probably be doing more of them. Tourist Wacker is also here. We Travel smashed 200, I assume, subscribers. Sun Garara's relaxing special. Wow. Yeah, let's do a sound effect for that. Wow. You do some shout outs, Dan. Who have we got?
So let's see. Razor Edge Learning, how's it going? Welcome. And Edie, I hope I'm saying your name right. Welcome. Next up, 200 million. I was thinking 3 million, but sure. Why not? Thank you to Chris. Appreciate you. Love of Theo. Thank you so much. And last one here, Liberty Wing UK. Thank you.
All right, then. So today's live stream is going to be all about this. Oh, here we go. All right, it's moving now. Here we go. So everyone's just decided to go subscribe.
5 away.
Oh my gosh.
We're ready. Is everybody ready? There we are. 99999. Oh no, the tension.
Some of you are
it's
mean.
Unbearable.
Some of you are so mean.
Oh my goodness.
On the internet.
I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
We have made it to 2 million subscribers and beyond.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
You didn't get a 2 million though, did you?
Let's just do a clean mic drop.
You to unsubscribe.
So if you weren't there at 7 a.m. my time, Saturday morning, in the middle of a night for Dan, in the middle of a night for John, we did finally achieve 2 million subscribers here at vidIQ. So first of all, thank you everybody. It was a joyous occasion and we enjoyed it all. Very tired after it. And what we wanted to do is just talk about some of the numbers behind subscribers, because we have some big numbers now that we can share with you, which may help you understand either the importance or the irrelevance of subscribers. And I've got a few raw numbers that we're going to show you from the back end of our YouTube studio. I love kind of just exposing as much as we can from the channel for you to kind of read and research, because it's not often that you can see stuff at such scale. And yeah, we're looking forward to this conversation. And then afterwards, we may just invite some of you to some channel audits, but don't fill out the forms. We're not going to bother with the forms this week. We'll just audit who's on the stream as it is. So I guess just before we jump into the numbers, Dan, any sort of general thoughts here about like hitting 2 million subscribers? Did you care about it? What were the feelings as we approached it over the last month?
I think what's interesting about like this level in terms of like how big the channel is, because you mentioned like did I care about it? What's kind of funny about it is that we were predicting the week it would happen for a while. We were kind of like getting closer and closer, and we were almost able to pinpoint the exact day it was going to happen. The only thing that threw us off was YouTube did one of their regular kind of audits where they purged some old accounts and things like that. So it kind of knocked the number back down. So it did throw us off by a day, but other than that, like when you are getting really, really consistent like growth on a certain metric, I do feel like it takes the suspense out of it a little bit. So I guess I wasn't feeling like, oh my gosh, like when's it gonna happen? Like, it was more like, okay, on like Friday or Saturday, I need to be ready to be here for that. So I don't know. It's a weird way to think about it. Whereas so many of you out there who are like growing channels, you don't have that consistency in the numbers yet. You're still kind of like building and building. And for you, it is literally like, when am I going to get 1,000 subscribers? And it could literally be your next video, and like everything kind of like blows up after that because you just got monetized and you're just like feeling like you're firing on all cylinders. So it is a different feeling for sure, but it is still really cool because I always look at the subscribe button as the like button for the whole channel. Like people don't often come back and unlike after they hit the like button. It's more like for a moment in time, people are hitting that button because the channel is helpful, and not just helpful, as you'll see in a little bit, so helpful that they become like loyal viewers. That subscribe button still means something, it turns out, and we'll explain what in a little bit here. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
An
that's how I
interesting
feel.
definition there, Dan. The subscribe button is the equivalent of a like button for the entire channel. I did see a couple of comments saying that Dan came in really loud and hot. I got the same thing, and then it kind of leveled off. But people are saying I may be too quiet. So just try and keep us up to date there on whether or not I'm too quiet or Dan's too loud.
Compared to the video you played earlier, I did feel like you were quiet. So maybe people compensated their volume, and then because I didn't change anything. But then again, like, who knows? I just lowered it a little bit on my end. Sorry.
Not to worry, not to worry. Okay, so let's jump into the analytics of this. That was an explosion apparently on the.
Boom!
So am I still very quiet? Is that the issue? It's one of these things where I have to try and work out which of my volumes I need to adjust here to get that to work. I think. Bear with me. I think it's this one.
Let's see. What do I have for this?
No, that's not going to be it.
No, not that one. I have a song for this. I think it's this one. Yeah.
I mean, we can just do this through the power of.
Oh, I thought you were still
images.
working.
I don't know. I don't know what to fix right now. The usual thing. Thanks StreamYards for not offering us like audio levels where we need them. Because
it's been
really helpful.
There's so many things they could add. That is one thing. If they want to earn this pay raise they've given themselves, that'd be great.
Okay, I've jacked up my audio a little bit. Does that sound any louder to you, Dan?
A little bit.
All right. Let's just get going with this, shall we? Right, let's share our screen then. So what you're looking at here are some lifetime analytics from the vidIQ channel, and we're going to start with subscription source, just to give you an overall snapshot and the type of thing you probably expect is getting most of your subscribers from the watch page, because obviously what you're hoping is that a viewer watches a video, they're enjoying it, and maybe halfway through, towards the end, or even when you give a call to action, if you're enjoying this video, subscribe now, they will click there. So based on the fact that we've got 3/4 of our subscribers from watch page, I think we're fairly happy with that. The one other thing that is really interesting, before I let Dan chime in, is the shorts feed. Not necessarily any amount of subscribers we've gained, but how many subscribers we've lost, comparatively speaking. So we've gained almost 100,000 subscribers. My goodness, we're almost due a silver play button just for shorts alone. But we've only lost 2,000 subscribers. So the conversion rate is very high. For every, I guess, 50 subscribers you gain, you only lose 1 subscriber. And I think that's another reason why shorts become a great opportunity for just growing a channel fast, purely in terms of that subscriber requirement. But yeah, Dan, any thoughts from you as we start this metrical journey, if that's a word?
I thought it was just as like interesting as you did. I think it's seeing the subscribers lost is always kind of a wild thing, especially when you see that we've over the course of the channel's life have lost 1 million subscribers. How many people can say they've lost 1 million subscribers, much less gained 1 million? It's like almost more impressive. uh, the shorts thing was a revelation. Just to add to what you said, I really do think that if literally the only concern you have is subscribers and you just enjoy watching that number go up, yeah, why not make shorts? I mean, holy crap. Like that is such a small amount of people who subscribed and went, "What am I doing?" and went back and unsubscribed. For the most part, the button's there. It's nice and big in the corner of that video, and people are not unclicking it when they click it. So that's kind of cool. But overall, yeah, I guess I was expecting to see for us more from YouTube search because this channel kind of started as like a search based kind of channel. And if you search for something and we answer that question, I feel like that builds a lot of loyalty. I certainly become more loyal to channels that are consistently answering questions that I have about a thing. So to see that number not even hit 100,000 after all this time is just kind of interesting to me.
But where do you subscribe? Is it literally on the search page? Is a subscribe button next to the channel that you would click?
I think in the video, if it's doing a good job and I want to remember the channel because I'm like, this channel talks about this topic a lot, I'd probably, I would wait till watching the video personally, but
I would
I
consider
also
I would consider that a watch page subscription in terms of the numbers here.
true. I'm not. They're not tracking it the way I'm imagining they would track it. So in that sense, yeah, I guess it's now. Now I'm more surprised at how many people clicked because it's almost like clicking subscribe before you've ever watched the channel.
Exactly. Yeah. Other points of note is we bang on about the community tab a lot, and we've gained 30,000 subscribers from there for like 5 minutes work for each piece of content we put together. And we get a lot of engagement from that. Stories. Anyone remember them? I remember, Dan, I think we did one vertical live stream and that gained us 150 subscribers. Point of pride. All of our subscribers are organic. I don't think we've ever tried to advertise our channels to get people to subscribe, except for maybe 1 or 2 experiments. And then we get to the interesting stuff where you have just minuses. YouTube Home, subscription feed, channel list, and then closed accounts. Look at how many subscribers we've lost just from YouTube doing audits. I think YouTube did one of them the day before we hit 2 million and we lost 400 subscribers, which was very annoying because it meant that we were live streaming in the middle of the night when we thought we'd be doing it 12 hours earlier. But yeah, YouTube is constantly cleaning out the mess on YouTube. And so for us to lose 250,000 subscribers, hell, we should have 2 silver play buttons for that as well.
I think I see a lot of people just take notice when that happens because their channels are smaller. So if they lose a dozen or so people overnight, that affects them. They're just like, whoa, like I just got to this milestone and you took it away from me. But I always feel like it's a good thing. It means that a number is now a little more accurate because the people who subscribed, the accounts are closed or they were bots or any number of things could be happening in the background. So YouTube is never going to stop doing that. I hope they don't stop doing that. You don't benefit from a number being artificially inflated like that. This is the same reason we discourage sub for sub where people are subscribing to each other but not really watching the content. It's the same reason we discourage you from spending money on advertising a video to hoping you just grow inorganically. You want those numbers to reflect actual people who've watched your content and are continuing to watch it or at least have a chance to watch it in the future.
There's a question that's just popped up here, which I think is really interesting. I'm going to bring up the question, but we'll answer it a little later. How well do end screens do in gaining subscribers? So I don't think there is a specific traffic source of end screens, but we'll kind of talk about the importance of that very, very soon, the end screens. And as Dan did rightly mention here, subscribers lost, that figure right there. We actually hit 1 million lost subscribers just before we hit 2 million subscribers. And as a result of that, one of a kind. I don't think anybody else has got this play button yet. We have truly lost 1 million subscribers, and we're proud of that fact. Video coming soon. Okay, Dan, let's have a look at some other analytics. The next one I wanted to look at here was subscription source. Because, yes, we have 2 million subscribers, but again, personal opinion, we have 200 million views, which are far more important. So let's just imagine for a second, if every single person subscribed to our channel had watched videos, they would average 200 videos per subscriber. Sorry, 100 videos per subscriber. Let's get my maths right. 2 million subscribers to 200 million views. But as we often say, subscribers don't mean views. And we only get 17% of our views from those 2 million subscribers. But something that maybe is important that we probably don't cover enough. If they are subscribers, they are likely to be a lot more loyal if they watch your content, because as you can see, the average view duration is 1.5 minutes more than a non-subscriber. Discuss.
That's a wild difference. It might seem like not a lot when you just put those two numbers side by side, but when you consider that's the average across all of the people subscribed to you versus not subscribed, that's so much more watch time coming from people who subscribe. And I think here is where I would say, like, so does that mean you should be spending time doing calls to action, getting people to subscribe, or getting them to watch more content? I don't think you would want to spend a lot of time still telling people to subscribe, because if you get them to subscribe and it was at a time where they're like, okay, fine, they're gamifying the subscription button, I'll go ahead and like subscribe. Does that create the loyalty, or is it better if someone subscribes when you don't ask them?
Now, I tried to see if I could manipulate this metric in some way to find out how loyal our non-subscribers could potentially be. And the best effort I could come up with is to filter by new and returning viewers and click returning viewers. So what this will now show us is just the views and the watch time from returning viewers. So look at the view count and look how that changes when I apply it. It's currently at 200 million, shrinks to 52 million. All right. So this is now just the people who are watching our content more than once. And what you might have seen as well is that the average view duration for non-subscribed people has gone up here about 20 seconds. So people who aren't subscribed but watch your content regularly do become more loyal. But there does seem to be this perceived proof and metric here that if you can get somebody to subscribe, it might be that they've been watching your content for a regular period of time, like 4 or 5 videos, and now they've subscribed because they really want to commit to that loyalty, even if they use a subscription feed or not. That is still a big question. So you know, maybe you know, to be fair to myself, I've been a bit wrong here in saying that, you know, subscribers aren't that important. They are kind of a tease into what maybe the attitude of a viewer is. I'm sorry, Dan, I cut you off there before you could start.
That's all right. Sorry about that. I was going to say that this goes back a little bit now to that question we just got about, like, well, should I be pushing people, you know, through end screens? Is there something that like determines end screens giving me subscribers versus like getting to watch videos? It's still more important. This metric to me proves this, to get people to watch your next video rather than, or their next video on your channel rather than subscribe. Because again, if you push and push and push people to subscribe and they do it, but they haven't yet built up that loyalty with you, maybe they've only seen a couple videos and like, fine, I'll subscribe if you'll stop asking me, you know, versus if they watch like 7 videos and did it on their own, you know, you're building it's like a loyalty ladder almost. The first time viewers, you get about 1.5 minutes of watch time if you're us. The returning viewers, you get about 2.5 minutes from, and then your subscribers, you get the most time at about 3.5 minutes. So you let the loyalty build naturally. And the best way to do that, how do you earn trust with somebody? It's not because they have a good channel banner. It's because they make good content and you keep coming back for more. So this is still paramount to me. And the reason we say subscribers don't matter is because we don't want people spending their time only focused on that. But if you can get people to naturally, organically subscribe, that obviously does matter. It's just in a different way.
When people ask, what should I do in my video in terms of a call to action, we are always going to say, get somebody to watch another video. If you're not selling a product, you're not bringing them off YouTube for whatever reason, we're always going to encourage you to get them to watch another video over getting them to subscribe. And of course, the more calls to action you give, the less likely a viewer is to do something. So we'll still maintain that. And the next screen may be of strong evidence for that. Because, again, just from a holistic point of view, watch time from subscribers, it's almost 3/4 of that amount comes from non-subscribers. I'm not sure if this includes lifetime information, but it was similar to the previous graph you saw. And also on this page, we can see the bell notification. So not only have you got to get somebody to subscribe, to ensure that you actually send them a notification when you release a video, you've got to get them to turn on the bell icon as well. And this has been very contentious in the past with people accusing YouTube of turning off the bell notification or just unsubscribing completely. For us, we have approximately 325,000 of our subscribers. So that's what about, well, we got a percentage here, haven't we? It's 16% of our total subscribers have turned on all notifications. And of them, only 5% actually have enabled it. Let me just show this. Subscribers who turn on all notifications. Subscribers who turn on all notifications and enabled YouTube notifications. Yeah. So a lot of people, I think, don't realize that you may have master settings on your phone where you suppress the notifications from YouTube. And I'm the sort of person who does that. If I get too many notifications from an app, I'll quickly turn them off.
Yeah.
So from the 2 million subscribers that we have, barely 5% of them are getting a notification to watch the videos. And that feels like so much effort on the off chance that somebody's going to end up watching that video.
Right. And people, your loyal viewers are going to get pushed your videos in a multitude of ways if they miss the notification. The homepage will serve it to them if they're a regular viewer. Excuse me. If they check their subscription feed, it'll be there. I mean, it's going to keep showing it to them too. I'll see a video and I'm like, I don't have time to watch that right now. And sometimes I'll even forget to put it in my watch later, which I use that watch later playlist very regularly. But even if I forget, sometimes it'll just surface the video later that day or the next day. Like, I get multiple chances to watch videos from the channels that I regularly watch. And that's why a lot of people don't click the bell, because they probably have just that like subconscious trust in YouTube that like, I will get the content when I'm ready to watch it. I don't have to worry about this. And I hate notifications. I hate them. I turn them off on everything. So I think a lot of people are probably like that. As you said, Rob, if an app starts pestering you, like after you download it, it goes away. You're just done with the notifications.
All right, let's move on to the next analytic, which is going to be more of a timeline of, or did I do that wrong? I did. Oh, what I want to show first, I remember now. We were talking about like views, people who get notifications. Of those notifications from those 100,000 subscribers, this is the total amount of views we've got from direct notifications. So views from notifications and emails sent to subscribers is 4 million. That sounds impressive, but it is still under 2% of our total views. It's a really good question that was asked earlier. I'd love there to be an analytic that kind of proves like views from a second video watch. That'd be interesting if you had that kind of metric.
Yeah.
To prove the point there.
You know who I feel like the bell notification is great for? Channels like Jenny Nicholson or H Bomber Guy, like channels that make really good content, but they upload maybe like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
That's like perfect, because they're probably going to show up in your history, but what if they don't because you just barely watch them because they have only uploaded a handful of videos? I mean, I may want to get notified because I love watching their content so much. I'm gonna want that push. So yeah, I think if you make daily content, I'm never clicking the bell. You know, nothing against you. Maybe I watch daily. I don't need to click that bell. But I think yeah, when I think about it, it probably serves a very specific type of creator, and it might become. I bet you if you look at the bell notifications on their channels, the data is probably wildly different than ours.
All right. So this, yeah, that's the last thing I want to. Well, I'm going to show you this next, but I just want to get this thing operating on another screen. So if I do that and sort by lifetime, and we'll come back to that one in a second. This is basically the timeline of the entire channel and the videos that have brought in the most subscribers, individual videos. I don't know why it says only 1.4 million. Oh, I guess because this is all of the subscribers from the watch page only. So this is from 1.4 million over 2 million subscribers. This is where we can kind of admit to a bit of a hack or a cheat. And it's this video here, which is the important next step after installing vidIQ. Obviously, we are not just a YouTube channel. We have a suite of channel growth tools that existed before the channel. And one of the first things that happens when you download the Chrome extension is you get a video just to tell you need to do a couple of things to get the best results. And at the end of that video, obviously we say, if you want to learn more about growing your channel and how to use these tools, then make sure to subscribe. So there's a pretty strong call to action there. It's not to watch another one of our videos because we don't know what video you want to watch at that point. We're just trying to get you engaged with the channel. So that's the one circumstance where we do ask people to subscribe. And that's gained us a lot of subscribers over a long period of time. But the following ones down, like this is my one about doubling subscribers. This is your incredible 4 million view video, 44,000 view, 40,000 subscribers. The list goes on. And I think what's encouraging here is that we don't have one complete outlier of a video that's driven all of our subscribers. They've come from being consistent and constantly speaking to our audience about growing their own channels. And so we don't need to rely on one or two videos to really carry our subscriber numbers to come from everywhere.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. Like, even though that one video has like brought in so many subscribers, if that's all we had, imagine how much smaller the channel would be just across the board. If we only did videos that were specifically focused on like the tools and not anything else, none of the information we provide. You know, it's still a fraction of what the rest of the channel has done. So I'm actually pretty encouraged by that because you would kind of wonder like, oh, does a video like that just totally give you such an unfair advantage that like half your subscribers have come from it? Well, no, not even close. So that's pretty cool. I do think that it's interesting to another like if do subscribers matter, yes or no question. This could be a quality play. Like if we wanted to focus on this in a different way, we could say, okay, we want a video to get next year. We want a new video on this page, bringing in the most subscribers. How do we do that? It's not begging a lot of people to subscribe in that video. It's we want a really, really, really good quality video. The next video that people get to know vidIQ for. And that could be an interesting way to kind of push yourself to make better content.
Well, look at this one. This is where you can not make a mistake, but like PewDiePie versus T-Series. This is something that I was covering a long time ago, and I was kind of getting into that trending topic, and we had some viral videos. This one gained us 22,000 subscribers, but also lost us 17,000 subscribers, which I think is a fair indication of if you have viral content that isn't really, strictly speaking, absolutely core to the values and the messaging of your content. I mean, it was about YouTube culture. It was about a subscriber race. But did you learn anything about how to grow your own channel from this PewDiePie versus T-Series thing? And the answer is probably not. So, yeah, we gained 5,000 subscribers from it. but it was a bloodbath of subscribers coming and going on that
So
one.
for the most recent series of streams we did for getting to 2 million, and I know that it's kind of broken up over a few videos now, but how many subscribers do you think we lost? Do we even have that data yet from having a concurrently running live stream at all? I know I'm putting you on the
I'm
spot a
wondering
little bit.
how. Yeah, no, that's a good question actually. How might we be able to find out? Because I don't think if I do it for the last 7 days, I don't think it covers live streams. Oh, it does. Here we are. There we go, Dan. So this was the one where we were just running the live stream, I think, for about 3 days prior. So obviously, people were having fun trolling us, subscribing, and then unsubscribing to get the number to move up and down. And obviously, we had that little graphic appearing saying that somebody subscribed. We're trying to probably trigger that as well.
Not only that, but this live stream will lose the subscribers. And to me, this kind of thing is obvious, but just to explain to anyone else, like why this is like interesting. If you go live and you're losing subscribers, it's mostly because when you go live, your video at that time is prioritized because you're live. So more people are seeing and then being reminded like, oh, I'm subscribed to this channel still. I don't really watch them anymore. It happens all the time. Every live stream, we will lose some subscribers before it starts like gaining us subscribers.
So that's an example of where we lose subscribers and then maybe gain a couple afterwards. But sometimes it can be even more drastic than that.
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
Last analytic I want to show you. This is like the entire timeline of subscribers. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, but first of all, the vidIQ channel started, I think, so the 25th of February 2013. Nothing happened on the channel for a very long time, And then I appeared. A wild Rob Wilson appears and starts making videos on the channel. And you can see how like it took such a long time of consistent effort to go from hundreds of subscribers a day to then starting to approach several hundred. And then things just went crazy. This is when I started doing the PewDiePie versus T-Series stuff, these trending videos or like videos about Mr. Beast, and we get 1,000 subscribers in a day, but then it would just drop back to normal levels. So again, the idea of if you go viral, you got to be really careful about recalibrating your expectations. Because unless you're really going to pivot hard into that topic and have it be a topic that sustains you, you'll kind of go back to your normal numbers. So we had these single day spikes. And then this is when lockdown happened in 2020. So a lot of people at home, nothing better to do, losing jobs, let's start a YouTube channel. Hello, we are vidIQ, we're here to help you. And then it's kind of been on that sort of up and down roller coaster between, I would say on average, 1,200 to 800 subscribers a day ever since, with peaks and troughs here and there. And that's kind of a story of our subscriber journey all the way up to 2 million. Any final thoughts there, Dan?
It's just really interesting to see. And it's been this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. It's been so consistent. And that's what that looks like when you zoom out, is just, this is how you get to a point where you're starting to predict how many subscribers you're going to get day in and day out. You'll see it's been a long time since we've raised the bar for ourselves when it comes to subscribers, which is always kind of something we're talking about in the background. Like what kind of cool things could we do to move the needle in a big way? So who knows? I think now that we're at 2 million, you might start seeing us experiment, more and more as we continue to look to break through more of those barriers.
Are there any questions? I can see one super chat that's come through here. So let's just bring this one in. Bruzia, that's how I'm going to pronounce your channel name. Copying outliers. Does that matter? Let's first of all clarify what an outlier is. That's when a video outperforms the rest of the channel in terms of average views significantly. So it's an outlier for that channel. And a classic strategy is to take that outlier idea and try and repurpose it for your channel in some way. And we've got tools that can help you with that. So yeah, I'd say copying outliers can be a big influence on just a good idea that's going to reach a broader audience. Whether it gets more subscribers or not, that's down to whether you want to do a call to action from that video. But, some people, I think, Dan, can be intentional with certain topics where they're trying to reach a mass broad audience. And on that particular video, they may say, well, you know what, on this one, I'm hoping it's going to get a big reach, lots of views. Let's get people to subscribe rather than watching another video. But I still don't know if that would be the best strategy.
I would just say, like, don't copy them. Put your spin on videos that are outliers. Use them to inspire ideas. We've seen outliers on channels that have nothing to do with YouTube growth. And then we've started to take inspiration from their strategies, not just in the title or thumbnail, but like, how do they cover that topic? What unique ways are they shooting their content? Like, outliers can really help you learn about new formats in general that are working across YouTube. But I see the word copy and I always cringe a little bit because it's like, don't just rip people off. I think there's a big problem with that on YouTube across the board. And, that's my message.
There's a question come up here, and I think we should probably try and address this now. So Renegade's Garage is just saying to one of our moderators, it doesn't make sense, does it? I watch a channel with 900,000 subscribers, so less than half the size of our channel, technically speaking. And when he does a live stream, he gets 3,000 to 4,000 people in the live chat. Okay, so this is the common challenge and question we get in that, well, your channel is of a certain size according to your subscribers, and yet you only get X number of views here, or like so many people on a live stream. So how do we tackle that question? I'm going to throw over to you, Dan, with your thoughts, and then I'll see what else I can come back with.
When we do a live stream, based on like just the raw numbers of live concurrent viewers, we have 201 right now by my count. So when we do a live stream and we are not providing like immediate and like super tangible value to the people who are in the room with us, we have less concurrent viewers. But depending on what you're doing, what you're covering, it will dramatically change. So for us, we've started experimenting with live streams that are not just channel audits, because that's an immediate value. When we do channel audits, we get more than double the numbers you're seeing right now, because people are sitting there thinking, maybe my channel comes up, or they're learning a lot from the channels that are on the screen. So it's like, for the live audience, it's this immediate value. But what we're trying is, what if our live streams acted as videos after they're done, and people can learn from them for a long time to come? We've had a number of old live streams that have been hits that have gotten us hundreds of thousands of views after they were live. So it's a different strategy. And then one more example I'll give you is, last night I was watching a stream and they were doing their normal thing, but they had combined it with a giveaway that lasted throughout the whole stream. So throughout the stream, they're like giving stuff away, and they had thousands of people watching them, and the channel is smaller than us by half. It's a 1 million subscriber channel. But they had way more viewers than we do. Why? Well, those folks who were live, they're the only ones that can benefit from being there, because a giveaway is running and it's only running during that stream. So it really depends on what the intent of your content is. And lately we've been trying content with the intent of getting views after it is done being live, meaning we have to create value for people for a long time. So it affects your concurrent viewership numbers.
What I would add is that the channel they're talking about could specialize in live streaming. That could be their number one priority. Whereas for us, these live streams are kind of like a secondary priority. We do them as, I think, more community reach rather than trying to reach a big audience, as kind of Dan alluded to there as well. And let's be honest, vidIQ now has, as you've just seen from the timeline, are at about 8 years of subscriber churn. And what I mean by that is, people who maybe want to start their YouTube channel in 2018 and subscribe to us, I would be very surprised if they're continuing to watch us now, because if they haven't had any success on YouTube in those 8 years, to a point where maybe they've moved beyond our guidance, particularly for small channels, then they're probably not making YouTube videos anymore, but they haven't subscribed. So this is why subscriber numbers can be a vanity metric. We know and appreciate that subscribers don't mean views. But what I will also say is, over like the course of the history of the entire channel, we have 200 million views. And that's quite a significant number for any channel that has maybe hundreds of thousands of subscribers or the low millions, at least in my opinion, but you can choose to believe that or not. It's entirely up to you.
It's
Yeah,
priorities.
Also, we are an education utility channel, which means that sometimes it's harder to build that, I guess, real deep connection that you might have with an entertainment channel or a storytelling channel. We've tried in the past to try and change that from just we answer one of your questions and then you're done. We want you to discover it in browse and suggest, and that has worked in the last few years, but it's still a challenge.
Yeah.
We get asked this question a lot, and so now I've answered it. This is where you can find the answer. If anybody ever asks it again, it's exactly 40 minutes into the live stream on November the 12th, 2024.
And this is why people share clips from streams too, so they can continue sharing that value, because y'all who are here now, like, you're the ones who are getting the most value. You've been here for 40 minutes potentially. It's hard to find these nuggets, through a live stream, which is why we prioritize videos. But it is priorities. If we wanted to get 1,000 concurrent viewers, we could take the entire team, drop everything we're working on, and we can work on building up the concurrent viewer base for live streams. But it's about priorities. We don't want to do that. And it would be great if we could do both at the same time, but it really, even when you have a team, it really, really helps to focus. And I'll tell you just an anecdote. I talked to a creator just the other day who has been doing YouTube and Twitch for a while, and they decided, I'm going to set a goal for myself. I'm going to get partnered on Twitch in 2024. So they dropped a lot of the stuff they were doing on YouTube and they focused completely on Twitch, and they got partnered in 2024. And it is just a shift in priorities and strategy. That's all it is. They are one person and they have this much time to work with. And so that's what their priority was, and they hit their goal.
Shall we do some channel audits, Dan?
Yes.
Yes. All right. This is what you're here for, right? Some people just weren't listening to anything they were saying. They were probably playing on the computer, just had us on very low audio just so they could hear me say channel audits. I think there's only one way we can do this week, and that would be, of course, hashtag 2 million as written there. If you're new to this, all you need to do in a chat is write hashtag 2 million once. You only need to say it once. You don't need to spam the chat. You will see that the entries are now increasing. That means you are in. It counts it very quickly, and we'll wait until this gets to a certain number, and then we'll pick one of those channels for a bit of auditing. Thank you, Dan, for the tense TikTok music. How long should we wait? What do you reckon we should get number 2?
Give it a little bit. Now, you're submitting your channel to get reviewed, which means we will give you our critiques. We're going to tell you what we like about it, tell you what we don't like about it, in the sense that, hey, we don't think you're going to grow unless you change these things. Not, you're bad, you should stop. That's not what we're here for. But we are here to provide you actual feedback. Sometimes I feel like people submit their channel and they don't realize we're not here to give you a big shout out and try and get a bunch of people to subscribe. That people aren't here to do that. We're going to give you advice on your channel now.
We will do for channels cool, and we think it's like a brilliant template for others to follow.
Yeah, we've done that too, where we struggle with advice, but we're like, this is actually just a cool channel.
Why are you here?
Yeah. What do you want?
Just a little note to live in Alaska. That will not get you entered. It has to be
TWO.
2 as a word, not the number.
It would be cool, but
we have enough entrants.
Okay.
What would it be called, Dan?
It would be cool if you could put multiple hashtags for the same entry, but oh well.
Right. One game I often play here is trying to line up my drum roll with when it actually picks the winner. And I often get this completely wrong. But let's try right now. You see, the drum roll is 7 seconds. But that is like an annoying 13 seconds.
Yeah.
The winner is Rebel S. We may run into our first problem here, which is trying to find a channel on YouTube, because that might be quite a common channel name.
Cool logo, by the way.
And if you need to hear the story again, just call out Calvin the Unfindable, and he will regale the wonderful story of how he became a moderator because he could not be found. Right. I don't know. Should I put this in quotation marks? Is that going to help?
Probably.
Let's filter again by channel. It's now or never.
Because it's just the word rebels. It's
appearing in a lot of in the handles. I think that's what's throwing YouTube here.
Yeah.
Don't think this is going to happen, I'm afraid.
Sorry, Rebel S.
I'll give it 3 more seconds. Nope.
Yeah, I think it's time to update your channel name.
I do apologize about that. That was a good start. The first channel we couldn't find. That was closer for Sir Prisma. This has to be a history or a gaming channel, right? Surely.
I am right here. Yes, but we can't. Unfortunately, YouTube does not let us click on you and go to your channel like they used to. Wait, it did.
Whoa. What happened there, Dan? You managed to get the channel from the live stream again?
They got rid of that forever ago and they brought it back.
They did.
I can click on the channel and here I'll give it
Share
to you
it in the private chat then, and we'll look at that channel next. Okie dokie, Sir Prisma. I like to make funny gaming videos. I knew it would be gaming. And memes. I'm weird. All right. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. So they are posting on a weekly basis, I would say. They have videos and do they have shorts? They do have shorts. I'm seeing a strong Zelda vibe here. So I'm going to have to clock off right now. And just full disclaimer, I hate the recent Zelda game. So Dan, help us out here.
You have got to try Echoes of Wisdom. If you're a Link to the Past person, like it's a different vibe, but it's...
I heard it was just puzzles, though. Is that right? Is it
I mean, that's all the Zelda games. There is some combat. But it's different. Like, I think you should try it. I don't know how you can just try it without buying it, but I don't know, rent it, find a way. I think you might like it, legitimately. But okay, so I know we used to make fun of channels like this in the sense that we don't know how to audit them, like fun of ourselves, really. Yeah. But I will say this is my general advice if you're trying to make content that's specifically like memes and trying to make people laugh. People need to have a sense of what the joke is or understanding of what's going on before they click on the video. You are trying to attract new viewers, and if they're not part of your YouTube culture yet, that you're creating on your channel, they don't get your humor right away, right? So
yeah.
Maybe some of your videos are just for them, but you need to create videos that have a wide appeal. And you have some here that, let's see, if we go to popular, you might have some here that have already taken off a little bit. Okay, no, okay. I thought I saw some.
How old is the channel?
Larger ones.
A few months at the moment.
Okay. So some of these might take off a little bit. But I think what you need to just continue to think about is that when I see a title and a thumbnail, like if I have no context for who Sir Prisma is, I haven't read your about section, I don't know that you make funny videos on YouTube or anything like that, does the video still seem intriguing enough to me to click on it? Because YouTube is going to try to recommend it to some folks who've never seen you before. And now it's like, okay, now I'll look at the thumbnails and the titles after saying that. The best Echoes of Wisdom player, not really much there for me to sink my teeth into.
Yeah.
Taking my horse to Eventide Island in Breath of the Wild. That's interesting. I think that's a little more broad because if you have any experience with Breath of the Wild, you might know what that is. But then again, I've played Breath of the Wild. I don't know what Eventide Island is. What you could have tried and what you might still try is taking my horse to the smallest island of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And
so,
make
for somebody who's played this game, Dan, even that packaging there is a bit too meta for you to really get. Yeah.
Or if maybe you're standing on the thing to get your horse there, then it's taking my horse to the most remote island on Breath of the Wild. And maybe I would try a couple different thumbnails using a thumbnail test. I would do one that's the map, where you like circle the tiny little island and write horse here or something, or you do try a thumbnail like you have, but this one's a little overproduced. Like the lighting is making my eyes like kind of not understand what to focus on, but you have a good concept here. You have a horse standing on a tiny platform. So I would have reframed that thumbnail a little bit to make it easier to see. Now that whole video can still be a whole meme or whatever, but I like the concept. I like that you're challenging yourself to do something in Breath of the Wild that most people wouldn't think to do, and that grows channels when people just try stuff. So those are just a couple of general things. Oh yeah, let's look at popular shorts. Any of the shorts take off?
Yeah, they've got one,
Okay.
just the one outlier right now. I'm not going to click on any of these just because I'm seeing in some of the titles like starred out curse words. So let's just not go down that road today.
So yeah, it looks like Breath of the Wild is something you've gamed around with a lot, just in terms of like you're not playing the game the right way. I love to see it. The latest video is one I kind of ignored at first, but yeah, Zelda memes. You know, it's there's not much there. It's just, hey, memes. I think some of the other experiments you're doing are more interesting. And I'm only saying that from the perspective of someone who's not watched the videos, because that's who we're trying to get. It's people like me who've never seen your channel before. So I'm not trying to be mean and say, oh, you wasted your time making those memes. They're not even funny. I don't know that. I don't know anything about them. There's not enough there for me to sink my teeth into. And that is kind of consistent in some of these thumbnails and titles. We're still testing what's working, what's not. Keep making videos, please. Like, keep uploading, keep trying things, but that's the important bit. Don't do the same thing over and over and expect different results. Like, keep trying different ways of pitching your videos. You're trying to get a new audience who has no context for you or your channel yet.
All right, we have found Rebels, and they are a Helldivers 2 gaming channel. I tried Helldivers 2 and I could not stand it. I've got to be honest. I didn't give it much time, I must admit. I found the loading times really frustrating, going from one place to another. And I thought it would be like Destiny, where I could play it by myself, just like in an MMORPG landscape. And now I think you really need to get the best out of it through friends. So I'm not going to give it too much of a hard time. What I'm seeing here, Dan, is somebody who is really committed to being consistent with their content. And that consistency is in the... I'm not going to say the thumbnails are brilliant, but they are very consistent so that there's some branding there. And they are posting on a very consistent basis, like maybe every 2 or 3 days. And they have, which is really encouraging, a core audience. So you can see the view counts are really consistent. And I'm guessing the view counts just slowly climb every single day to the point where they'll get 1,000. But for the first day, they might get 400 views. And after half a week, they'll get 750 views. And then after a week, it climbs up to maybe 1,000 views.
Yeah, that's good to see too. And it looks like when perhaps that was the moment switching to that style. Oh, okay. They kind of switched away from it and then switched back. Like, that style works better for them than some of the other stuff they were doing.
I think the numbers told them that when I play Helldivers 2, I've got an audience. But if I try anything else, even if it's Warhammer 40k, which is probably very similar in nature and it's a sci-fi shooter, but again, it's the idea of, even if a game is very closely related, people just want to see you play this one game. And that could be a problem in a year's time when the audience has moved on to the next massively multiplayer first-person shooter. But I guess you would follow that audience when they get there, but they're presumably not there yet.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if this content like it makes sense that the oldest video there on the top 2 rows is getting the most views. It's probably, it's been around longer. It's probably getting shared more. So yeah, super, super consistent. I'm trying to think of the next step, because they're probably looking to break through their own barriers right now. And how do they take that to the next level? Is that, one's human. Okay. That's another game they've tried. The First Descendant. Encouraging to see that we're playing different games on the most popular video tab, and they're doing well. They're a guides channel, perhaps. You were doing guides on games that
Yeah,
are similar to one another.
I'm trying to figure out, are these videos at the top guides, or is
I
it
think so.
just gameplay? Because I'm not entirely sure.
They're
Because
longer, so
they're not
yeah.
titled specifically as like ultimate guides, or it feels as if, given the most popular stuff, might it be a better idea to just repackage these as ultimate guides to, for example, the ultimate guide to using a flamethrower, ultimate guide
Or
flamethrower loadout, Helldivers 2.
alternatively, if this is a challenge video where you are only using one weapon in Helldivers for a set amount of time, that could be more clear because we're not clear right now on the difference between guide or just gameplay. So crazy triple flamethrower loadout.
Let's find out. Let's click on one and see.
Okay, yeah, let's
in
just
the first
that'll
10
help.
to 15
That'll
seconds,
help.
we can figure out what we're getting into.
Keep on pushing, keep on pushing. Yeah, boys. The jetpack army is here.
So it's just thrown us into the game.
What armor am I using? I'm using the best
Ah,
armor in
live
the
stream
game
clip.
for
It
explosive
feels like
damage.
it, doesn't it?
Okay.
So
Good.
I'm actually surprised that the videos are performing as well as they are, given that
Yeah.
they seem to be transplanted from live streams
Mhm.
without much editing or like an intro or outro and just thrown onto the video on demand.
Yeah, a good way to repurpose live streams. I think one thing that would have helped me is not learning about that through there's only one signal I got, and it was you saying, "What armor am I using?" or something. You answered a question.
Yeah.
You read the question, you answered it. So that tells me you were reading a live chat and then answering the question. And so that's only because I have experience watching videos like that that I caught on very not I don't want to say very quickly, but I caught on eventually to the fact that you were doing a live stream, which is fine. But a little intro could have maybe helped for new viewers who missed the live stream. Like I was live streaming Helldivers 2 and I tried this new crazy loadout. You have to see what happened or something. Just a quick 10 to 20-second VO with B-roll of the game running in the background of you just explaining to people who weren't there what it is you were doing. I liked by the way, sound quality was good, video quality was good. You feel really engaging. You feel like I immediately felt like you were having a lot of fun. All of those positive signals were there. I think for new viewers, they're kind of missing a little bit to get them into the content.
Ashley Hale, the UK. Let's find you, and then Dan, I would like you to have first dibs on this channel. If I can, it's this person, I think. Yeah, if you can just introduce us to the channel, because I'm going to remove Jasper from the studio before he steals anything.
Okay, 7.2K subscribers, 281 videos. Very nice. Let's see. Rob's screen's a little small for me. Let me try and make that a little bit larger. Can we load this machine without a key? Epic low loader challenge. Interesting. Must know top tips for new HGV drivers. That's going to be a search video for you for a long time, I think.
Yep.
And then the quizzes not doing as well kind of makes sense because you are just kind of asking questions about something very specific. I think quiz content in general, even if people know the material, not as fun as just watching someone's experience doing something. So I think your last couple of videos on that page were a little more interesting to me. I don't know if the quiz stuff is working. I think you've done enough to just prove that the views just are not there when, compared to the other stuff you're doing.
So I'm interested in, I guess, the word comes to mind here, TAM, total addressable market, and how I think this type of content can lead to quite specific videos that really service a core audience. So we look at the latest stuff, which is very specific theory test quizzes and stuff that might be really useful to people looking to take that test. but how
right.
useful.
If they're, of course, they need to get a license, so it's not just fun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm also thinking, were these 3 videos all released at exactly the same time as well? Because they're all exactly 11 days ago. You might want to stagger them a little bit.
They're so short. I kind of wonder if you.
Are these going to end up being shorts? But they're in the wrong
They
place at the
could. They
moment.
could.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I kind of wonder
YouTube.
if you took all of them and put them into one big video, that might be better.
Yeah.
They confused me I didn't even notice how short they were. All right, sorry. Ignore the quiz part.
That's it. Yeah, they're going to be
understand
shorts
now.
eventually, aren't they?
They will probably be shorts eventually. Is shorts the best place for those? I don't know. Maybe shorts can certainly be searchable. I think new truck is good. I like that from the perspective of like a total addressable market, even if they don't. People are following you who are not going to be drivers themselves, might just be interested in your lifestyle. I think the wages video it appeals to a lot of people. Like, is this even a career I want to get into? That could be a question people are asking. The why drivers are quitting could be affecting your local population, and a lot of people could be watching because you are an experienced truck driver. You can speak to this better than so many other commentators can, right? Because who aren't doing the job. So there's like this top row makes a ton of sense to me why these videos took off.
Yeah. It looks as if this creator has already maybe tackled a lot of these broad-based questions that even maybe people who aren't necessarily HGV drivers themselves do have a casual interest in. So if you can, if there are any more in your list of like big topics and questions to answer, and make sure you do complete them. I sense that the real superpower here for this creator at the moment is just how much I can earn from driving a lorry. As simple as that. That seems to be where they've had their biggest audience so far. So there might be opportunities to revisit these topics like every year, 6 months, especially with how in the UK Brexit kind of impacts logistics. And, the recent budget also, there could be opportunities for conversation there. I'm trying to think of maybe a crossover creator who may be useful to this creator. And there's this person who is like a taxi driver in London who makes just awesome stuff. Is it this guy? I'm trying to remember who it is. I think it's Tom the taxi driver. He's basically somebody who taxis people around London, but he turns each and every video into a really interesting story. So maybe there is techniques that you can take from this. Like you got to, I don't want to turn this into stakes. Like I've got a lorry full of goods and I need to get there within 3 hours and I'm only going to use second gear. We don't want you to be like Mr. Beast in that sense. But I think this is another creator who may be able to help you in terms of how they put together their content, maybe help you with your, I guess, transport style content.
Yeah, this is a route for sure. I think it kind of is a bit more of an entertainment play. These videos here are more informative, and so you kind of have to choose for yourself, and you can test both for a bit and see how you like either one. But you kind of, if you're trying to get a big wide audience, I would try to commit to these videos that have a broad appeal and are informative, and maybe if you have some ideas, try some videos that have the broad appeal because they're entertaining and people are watching because the lifestyle is so interesting to them. It's interesting to me. Like, it's just not something I'll ever do, but I've always been very curious about this type of stuff. Also, another thing to keep in mind, and Rob kind of alluded to this, is like the logistics of driving trucks is wild. You could be doing videos that are informing people and like giving them some context as to why suddenly their groceries are more expensive from the perspective of somebody who's hauling them around.
Oh yeah.
So there's like a lot of different interesting dynamics there, and I think that could be a very interesting channel depending on what route you go, pun intended.
Yeah. Very, very good. Relationship facts. Let's hope this is a PG channel for us to try.
We've had some bad luck with channels like this in the past.
All right, I got to find it first, though.
Oh yeah, there's probably a lot of channels called relationship
There
facts.
we go. Okay. Really? Okay.
Oh,
Is this
okay.
where we're at? Right. Okay. It's a
Oh.
shorts channel. It's a shorts channel. Right. Okay. So first of all, I just want to find out when they've published their first video. November 2nd. So this channel is 10 days old, I think.
Okay.
Got my maths right.
This is gonna be a tough one to help because I can already sense this is more of like a faceless channel. They are, sourcing facts from wherever they're sourcing facts from, and they're using stock footage and some captions. I don't even hear a voiceover in that one you clicked on. So the audience is being asked to kind of read these captions, and if I think if I swiped to any of these on shorts, I'd probably for me anyway, I'd probably kind of keep scrolling because I'm not really getting much, right? That subscribe button is also just like, to me, kind of like speaking to the motivation here. Personally, whenever I see a subscribe button like that, I'm like, okay, like, so I don't know. I think this creator is asking us, oh yeah, like how can I grow? But I guess I would ask you, like, are you like, what is the ultimate goal that you're trying to
Sorry,
achieve? Is it just
mute
subscribers?
sound.
Do you actually like want to help people with their relationships, things like that? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going to go on like 100 different tangents if I keep going.
So I think
we'll let you take over.
I would say that the contrast you have here is that you're trying to create like a relationship, build a relationship with a partner, and the emotions behind it, etc., etc. But it's from a faceless channel, which almost counteracts the ability to do that.
Here, I know what to say.
Go for it, Dan.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Channels like this are a dime a dozen because of the low barrier to entry to make this type of content.
Yeah.
If you really want to get a channel taking off about relationships and advice for people in relationships, I want to see you on camera sharing your personal experience.
Sure. Yeah.
That is going to set you apart from channels like this who are only doing like the thing that anybody can do. That's where I'm at with this channel.
I would agree with you there, Dan. And I think it's exacerbated by the fact that this is about relationships, about human relationships being built from what looks to be predominantly an AI system. It works better in other formats that don't rely so much on a real deep and personal connection. But as you say, Dan, like if I want to get relationship advice, I want to know that the person who's communicating that to me either has experience in it or is qualified in some way to give me that that knowledge and wisdom. Like if we just did faceless shorts saying stuff like post 3 videos a week and that will help you get more subscribers, but there was no evidence to prove that, and like it was just a robot voice, would you follow it? Would you trust it?
Right. That's the key, is the low barrier to entry. Like you are competing now in a huge landscape too. This content, the way you're building this content, even if you're not automating it, it can be automated, and we know that. We've talked to creators who are doing that. So it's going to be more and more difficult as time goes on, weeks and months, to even stand out in this space. So
yeah, stand out is the right word. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what you're fighting against. That's a huge uphill battle.
Looking at the early numbers, I do sometimes get a little bit suspicious about what YouTube is doing here, but we talk about impressions for long form videos. That's the way your content is distributed. Views are the way your shorts are distributed, and some of their shorts are just getting no distribution whatsoever, like zero views. And so we have to be aware of why that might be, and maybe it's because YouTube is maybe identifying this content as something that it already has enough of from other creators, or it just from the very early signals, it's just not getting any signals that are positive to share. Now, if you want to continue testing this, I would say, cool, continue testing this. I would set your limit at maybe 100 shorts. And if you're still not making any progress, then the reasons we've alluded to might be what's going on here. Dan, I think we shall call the live stream to a close right there. What would you say?
Yeah.
Dan agrees. All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us once again. I apologize if you thought this was maybe a little self-indulgent, us just flexing our millions of subscribers. But we hope that there was some interesting conversation entangled within the numbers, because we just like looking at YouTube numbers and discussing them. And maybe we're right, maybe we're completely off base, but we're all just trying to figure out YouTube, and you are as well. So with all of that being said, are there any super chats? Just to check. Oh, there is one super chat here. This is from Design Burst, who had an amazing run of super chats, I think earlier this year and last year. Went for like 30 weeks in a row. I'm worried. We gained a lot of views and subs by starting a series where we designed interiors for 100 subscribers for free. Any advice on this type of content? I just came back from vacation. Congrats on 2 million.
Oh, welcome back. So, okay, you gained a lot of views and subscribers series where you design interiors for 100 subscribers. I'm guessing that's how you celebrated 100 subscribers. Is you designed interiors for people, kind of like we do channel reviews where people send us their channel. Like maybe that's what they meant.
I think what we should boil this down to, Dan, is it sounds like a giveaway. Like if you subscribe, I will do something for you. And we always caution against that, because typically the viewer is there to just get what they want from it now, and they're not really interested in the what the channel has to offer beyond that. If I'm interpreting how to phrase that correctly.
Yeah, it's kind of up to interpretation, and that's how I'm feeling too. Hopefully we have this right, but you can certainly do content like this, but yeah, just keep in mind the viewer intent. It will be, I want to win something. I want to get something. But it does feel aligned. Like you are a design, like kind of tips.
It's
channel.
A cool idea, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think there's a way to do it to where you don't have people coming in just to win something. But at the same time, if you do set it up, like I will designing rooms for my viewers or whatever, like a live stream or something, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not like giving away a PlayStation, on my car repair live stream. Like then people are only there to win a PlayStation. So it's a little different, but it depends on how you do it. I would just say whatever you do on YouTube, like be prepared for it to be potentially successful. Whatever you're measuring success by, and then decide if you want to continue doing it or not. And if you don't, that's okay too. Just be prepared to not get those same numbers for a bit while you kind of retool and try different things.
I suppose the channel audit live streams are kind of similar in that we are giving away free audits, and so a lot more people come onto that content. But what we try and do is use it as a canvas for the other things that we want to talk about and educate creators on. So, but at the same time, it also feels like very community focused content. And so you have to be aware of that not maybe reaching a really wide audience, but of being of extreme value to those who do watch the content when it's available. Although I don't know if this is a live stream or long form content that you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
I will echo what Dan said there as well. Welcome back from your vacation. I hope you had a fantastic time. All right, now we are officially done for the week. We will be back next week. We haven't decided yet whether we'll be doing channel audits or talking about a topic, or maybe some YouTube news will come along. But if you subscribe and click the notification bell, you will sure to be finding out soon. Bye, everybody. Awkward wave until StreamYard kicks us out.